Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I'm Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of The Inn at the Foot of Mount Vengeance by Ciara Bullen. This is a cozy fantasy from Del Rey. It's coming out July 7th, 2026. I received the e-art from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review. A Scottish-inspired twist on D&D-esque fantasy, The Inn at the Foot of Mount Vengeance, which is a mouthful, is a lovely story of learning what is truly important. What's it about? Ainsworth Gladsley, ambitious young scholar, research fellow, and up-and-coming historian, is finally ready to make his mark on the world. When a supervisor learns of a rustic inn at the foot of the legendary Mount Vengeance, she sends him to be the first to document the exploits of the bold adventurers who face the perils of the mountain and the dragons said to inhabit it. But the inn is far from the sophisticated city life he's grown to love, and even as he grudgingly warms to its rustic charm and its lovely innkeeper, Honey, the mystery of the mountain refuses to reveal itself. Worse, Ainsworth can't find evidence that anyone has ever undertaken to climb. Every adventurer comes to the inn, stays for a single night, and then returns home. And with Ainsworth's reputation as an academic on the line, it's a mystery he can't allow to remain unsolved, even if he has to push the adventurers up the mountain himself. So this book is fun. The main character, Ainsworth, starts the novel as pompous and sheltered, but you quickly realize this story is about breaking away his veneer, like chipping it off. It's like his armor, and revealing the true, good-natured person underneath. He's haughty, but he's never cruel, and the story also reveals why he's so focused on material items, something I thought was a great little character arc. I grew fond of Ainsworth as the story progressed, and I also very much liked how the story was about losing the grind mentality and still placing value on curiosity and learning and fulfillment. It's not an abandon your career and live in the woods story, but a work-life balance story, and I thought that was really a really important message actually for today when we're kind of forced to be online all the time. Like, I don't have work email on my phone for my mental health for that reason. It's also a fun fantasy story. I didn't realize until the afterword, but the clearly D&D based fantasy world also incorporates Scottish lore and Scottish words. A lot of the character species have names I can't pronounce, and I'm not even going to try, and their own sort of spin on classic character classes. This was a really fun idea, as it made the world building seem larger. It gave it its own kind of feel. Because, like, if you play D&D or listen to any of the podcasts about it, or if you've read, like, Dragonlance, things like that, they have a kind of similar feel to them. And sometimes fantasy books that write in this kind of, I don't like calling it low fantasy because I think that's pretentious, but write in that vein kind of have a similar vibe, where this one has a bit of its own twist to it. And I thought that was really cool. It's a slice of life story, though, so don't expect politics. We're not even told the political system it functions under. Is it democracy? Is it royalty? I have no idea. Or any kind of grand sort of event. Nothing much changes in the story except for the people featured. And I thought that was really, that's kind of what cozy books are. They're a slice of life. You're spying on someone. The other characters are fun. We have what I understood to be a shapeshifter, a dwarf, a dark elf, another elf, an orc, and whatever those demon ones are called in D&D. They all have these little minor dealios they have to deal with, either personally or with Ainsworth, that serve to broaden Ainsworth and the mystery of the inn. The main antagonist of the story and how he features in the story is really well done. The reader can sense what he's doing and slowly understands how Ainsworth is involved, and you really root for Ainsworth because of him. It's a really, I don't want to tell you kind of what the plot is in that because it's kind of a spoiler, although it's kind of obvious from the start, and it's obvious in a way that you really hope that Ainsworth goes in the direction that he does. The mystery is what propels Ainsworth to the inn, but it's sort of obvious what's going on with the mystery. Like, it's not super deep. Yet it's also clearly not the main point of the story. So how it's revealed makes sense. It's revealed in bits and pieces. There are fun side characters like two cat people called Fig and Fern that liven up the coziness. They're only there for like one night. They're one of those one-night adventurers. So you get the kind of main cast of people that work at the inn, and then you have these kind of fun characters that like pop in and out, and they kind of liven it up a little bit. Of course, given it's an academic mystery cozy fantasy, the pacing is a little bit slow. I personally enjoyed it, though. It feels like being at a resort. You get up, you mosey around, you eat, you take in the sights, you lie around. This book feels like a vacation, and I think that's what draws me to these stories. They are a real break from real life because, if I'm reading a serious fantasy or sci-fi or horror or any kind of serious book, there are usually you know, to make the book interesting, there are things that are triggering or traumatic or just things that are intense. And cozy books, because they're designed not to do that, not to invoke these like strong feelings, I find they're a great break from real life. They don't make me think about, you know, my my situations and stuff like that. The last few years for me, if you have been following my channel, have been horrendously stressful, horrendously. And I'm not going to get into it, but books like this have really kind of helped me through it. And getting my nails done. That's my self-care. Aren't they cool? So I asked for rainbows. Clearly the woman doesn't know what rainbows are, but I like it. They're kind of cyberpunky. Anyway, what am I talking about? In this book, the love story was the only thing that was really lacking for me. I liked the build up to it, but there wasn't enough kind of like romance to it. I almost kind of wished it wasn't a romance because there's a little bit of yearning, but I wanted more. The first kiss was a letdown, and there were 2 or 3 moments when it seemed weird that a kiss didn't happen, when I was just like, so is this a platonic thing going on? I couldn't tell. And because I couldn't really tell that it was a romance, I was not feeling it too much. I thought, yeah, I don't know. What was great, though, was that this is another book about bisexuals, which is great. Bisexual erasure is such a thing, and I'm glad that more books are including bi and pan characters. If you're not sure what bisexual erasure is, it's when bisexual people are excluded from or don't feel they can attend queer events such as Pride because of other queer people who seem to think you can't, you like suddenly stop being bi or pan when you are in a cis-het relationship. It's why a lot of bi people in cis-het relationships either A, don't talk about being bi that much, or feel like they're made to feel that they aren't queer enough to be part of the community. Personally, I have felt this for years, so I love books with bi main characters. In fact, my own book has a male bisexual main character, and I was perhaps channeling that when I wrote it. I don't know. It wasn't intentional. Like, he was intentionally that way, but I don't know, that projection was not perhaps intentional. Anyway, when I start rambling about my own projects, you know it's time to wrap up this review. So in closing, I thought this book was entrancing, lovely, and sweet. I liked it. I thought it was great. I want to buy it. I think the cover's really nice. It was just like a lovely story. And yeah, it just felt like being on vacation where you don't really have any cares and you can turn off your brain, and but it's still engaging. So yeah, thank you very much to Del Rey and NetGalley for the e-arc. I really appreciate it.